Hey, it's Evie. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the trouble with the law of attraction. Why can't some people manifest at all? And it doesn't matter what they do, and they try all of the techniques under the sun, they can't manifest. The problem is, when we didn't know about the law of attraction, we didn't know that we could create these things. We just did naturally. We just did naturally because we didn't know, and something would happen and we'd think, oh, that's amazing. I thought about that and that's happened. But we had no attachment because we didn't know it was possible to make things happen. So we didn't have that expectation. Now, when you get into the law of attraction, you have the expectation. You think, wow, I can make all of these things work. This is going to be amazing. I can do this technique, that technique, and then I'll get things because that's how it works. Well, the problem is we become attached then, don't we? And we've put in that effort and we've done these techniques to get a certain person come into our life or a new job or a new house or whatever, and it doesn't happen because we get a week down the line and we think, why hasn't it happened? It's supposed to happen just like that. The Secret said we just put the wish in and it happens. And now I've heard people say that The Secret is far too simplistic and it doesn't work like that, and it's really unfair giving people these unfair expectations of what could happen when you start believing in this stuff and making this stuff work for you, trying to make it work for you. You see, the thing is, The Secret is not too simplistic. The Secret is exactly how it is, I have found. Now, I've found that everything else just makes it far too complicated and makes it so that people can't do it. Time should not be a factor for you. And I'll tell you why time's not a factor. The last 2 years, I haven't taken this seriously at all. I've done it for fun. I've known that I can make things happen, so I've just let it happen and run with it. So I have manifested all kinds of different things. I've manifested huge things that have taken 2 or 3 days without expectation, mind you. And I've thought, wow. And it's been such a little thing that's led to that manifestation. So it's been a situation that's opened up that I've taken advantage of, and it's taken me to that manifestation. And it's been given to me. It's been brought to me. Reality has put it right in front of my face. There you go. And it's changed my life. Then I have put in smaller intentions for things that I've had no attachment to whatsoever, really wanted to happen, but had no attachment to, wouldn't have killed me if they didn't happen. They've taken 2 or 3 months. Why? I have no idea. And that is the problem. It's not a problem, but we make it a problem because it's a time thing and we feel like, why isn't it happening? And then we start building resistance. Now, with a couple of things that have taken that long, I had no resistance, but it still didn't happen for that amount of time. And that cannot be explained. I can't explain that to myself. Now, and this is the thing, I tried to explain that to myself a few years ago when I started getting into all of this. Why was that? And I tried to work it out. What can it be? What can it be? And I went through various different reasons. I couldn't come up with anything solid. And in the last couple of years, I have learned that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I'm never going to understand why some things happen overnight, seemingly, and some things don't. I'm never going to understand that. And if I try to work that out, I'm going to be sadly disappointed and very frustrated, and it's not going to get me anywhere. I'm going to get anything I want if I start questioning everything. So I don't. I've let go of time as a factor completely. Time is of no consequence to me now. Used to be in all kinds of ways, but it isn't now because it can't be. If you want to make this work, you cannot get hung up on time. Now, I know that that's incredibly difficult when you want a specific person back in your life. So the best way to look at it is this. If you have been trying to manifest a person back into your life, stop. Stop trying, because trying will not equal manifestation, particularly where people are concerned because the attachment is too huge. You don't need to try. This is the thing, you do not need to try. All you need to do is set a specific intention, get the feeling of having it, even if just for a few minutes, and then let it go. And that really is all you need to do. Apart from, you have to stop getting hung up on time. That is going to be your issue here. You don't need to do all the visualization techniques. You don't need to do the water technique or anything. Those techniques are great if you're doing them for fun. You know, you decide that you want to manifest something, you're going to use a couple of techniques that you've seen for fun. Brilliant. Because these techniques do work without attachment. Everything works without attachment. It doesn't have to be those techniques. They are just fun techniques. You don't need them. All you need is intention, letting go, and the belief that it's possible that this could happen. You do need to kind of believe that it's possible, but you don't need to have complete faith. Let go. Get the feeling, let go. That's all you need. And this is where it gets complicated. Well, it doesn't. This is where we make it complicated as human beings because we think that's not enough. How can we possibly get something just by doing that? That's impossible. Or we shouldn't be able to because it should be hard work. And that's where the issue lies for people. It's not that it doesn't work for them, because of course it works for them, it works for everybody. It's just the way the world turns, everything works that way. I don't see it as attracting things to me, I see it as creating. I don't want to see it as I'm attracting things to me, because then you can imagine that that's quite difficult. What if I can't attract that thing to me? That thing's not attracted to me, then I won't get it. It doesn't work like that. So if you see it as creating, then you have all the power, don't you? You're not waiting for somebody else to bring it to you. All of the power is yours because you are creating it, and that's how it's worked for me. Years ago, I wanted another child. Well, I don't think I did really, my husband did, and I was half-hearted about it, but I thought, okay, maybe I don't want an only child, so, nice for Harry to have a sibling. So I got kind of talked into it, and it didn't happen, and actually I had 2 miscarriages. And then nothing, absolutely nothing. Tried, had some fertility treatment, had IUI, and it didn't happen. And then I got to 40 and I thought, stuff this, I cannot do this anymore. I am done with it. It was taking over my life and I was miserable pretty much, because I don't like being told that I can't have something, but I was done with it. My father-in-law was really ill at the time and he was dying actually, and that seemed so important, and I thought, I'm just done with it. And a couple of days later I thought about it and I really was done with it, and I thought, I don't even know whether I really wanted it. I just felt like I wanted it because I couldn't have it. My friend at the time had got pregnant in that time, and so I felt like I wanted it more, and I just don't think I did, and it never did happen. So I'd released on it then and it didn't happen, but the thing is I'd released on it pretty much knowing that I didn't really want it. So I don't know whether I didn't have another baby because subconsciously I didn't really want it, or because I was hung up and it didn't happen and then I realised that I didn't really want it. I'm not sure. See, some of these things I can't explain away. I can't. And that's it. And that's what you've got to get to a point where you realise you can't explain it away and you can't understand it, and it's just a little thing, and you know that you've let go and it hasn't happened yet. You know that you've let go, so you haven't thought about it for a couple of weeks and it's come back to you now, the thought, and you thought, why haven't I got that? So it can't be real. We can't explain the time thing, and that's the thing that we need to let go of, and that is the problem with people not being able to manifest. They're dealing with time like it's a thing, like it should have happened and it hasn't happened, and why hasn't it happened? And then they get the resistance, and then it goes on and on and on. It's like a cycle. You could go on for years and never manifest a particular thing that you want because you've got hooked in that cycle of time, the worry of time, the concern over time. And that is what will stop you manifesting every single time. Resistance. And I personally think that there's lots of kinds of resistance. There's doubt and there's worry and there is past hurt, past resentment where people are concerned. There's all of that. But all of that won't necessarily stop you manifesting. So hurt and resentment and all that stuff won't necessarily stop you manifesting a certain person, but you can manifest them and it just won't be great. It won't be what you want it to be because you're holding on to resentment and hurt, but also wanting it to be a different way, and it won't be a different way. But you can still manifest. That is not what stops you manifesting. What stops you manifesting is resistance, and resistance generally comes from a hang-up about time and nothing more really. That is what the majority of it comes from. Everything else, like I've said, will not stop it happening, but it won't happen the way you want it to happen. If you're holding on to hurt and resentment and all that stuff, it won't be great. You can still manifest people back in and out of your life, in and out, in and out, in and out. You can, but the way that you just don't manifest at all is because you're hung up on time. I know that through my own experience when I started doing this, and the things that didn't come and why they didn't come, and then they eventually came when I'd let them go completely and understood that you have to let go in order to manifest. So that is the problem with the law of attraction. And I think seeing it as attracting can be a problem as well, which I don't do. Never really have done that, actually. I've always kind of seen it as making a wish. And if you can see it as that, just making a simple wish and hoping for the best. And that's not me saying that sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. It's not. And, you just pot luck whether you get what you want or not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a way of letting go, a way of release. And that's what you have to find. Your way of release, your way of letting go. And sometimes it will happen easier than others. Sometimes you might get hung up for a couple of weeks still, which I sometimes do with things still. But I live with that, and then I kind of try and change my perception of whatever it is in order to let go. I find a way. I just say, what's the worst that can happen if I don't get this? That's not me saying that it won't happen, and I think there's any doubt. I don't think there's any doubt with anything for me anymore. I know that things will come to me, but they'll come to me in good time, and sometimes in ways that I'd never have imagined, and they might be even better than things that I'd wanted initially. I might have a better version of, a way that I'd never imagined it. So if you can drop time as an issue, then you can manifest. You can. And if you can see this stuff as creating a little bit of magic you're using, and you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know why, and you're creating something from scratch sometimes, you are not attracting things to you, waiting for something to set to like the universe say, okay, you can have that now, you're worthy. It doesn't work like that. It really, really does not work like that. And if you can drop that notion, then things will be a lot easier. I hope this was useful. I know it's been quite a long video, but I'm really going by, I'm kind of compiling all of my email queries, all of my coaching clients' stuff and the issues that they have, and the majority of it comes down to time. I was looking at them all the other evening and thinking, it's all time. Nothing else is really affecting them now, especially my coaching clients that have got to a particularly good place, and lots of them have got where they want to go, but some that I'm still working with, got to get them past the time thing. Got to get you guys past the time thing, and then you will fly. You really will. You really, really will. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe to me. I really do, and that even spend the time watching my videos, even if you don't subscribe. Thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. My latest book is out now, Get Back With Your Ex, and I'll put a link to that down below if it's a specific person that you're trying to manifest. And you know, it is for your ex, but it kind of works with anybody really. Anyway, thank you.